Could artificial intelligence spell doom for the internet as we know it? That's the pressing concern voiced by Cloudflare CEO Matthew Prince, who recently shared his unsettling predictions about the future of our online experiences. In a recent episode of Wired's Big Interview podcast, Prince reflected on the rapid transformation of internet search functionality, suggesting that the era of traditional search engines dominating the web is essentially behind us. He pointed out a notable shift in how we retrieve information today. Instead of serving up a list of links, the classic treasure map, search engines now often provide a synthesized answer right at the top of the results page, a feature he refers to as the AI overview. This tool aggregates various pieces of content, summing them up in a way that can seem efficient, but may also obscure the nuanced discourse that traditional search allowed. However, Prince isn't alone in sounding the alarm. Just this month, a federal judge surprising the tech community by allowing Google to retain ownership of its search engine, Chrome, in an antitrust case. The judge argued that emerging generative AI technologies might finally pose a real challenge to Google's long-standing monopoly in internet search. While many view AI simply as a modern search engine, Prince shifts the discussion, invoking the term answer engine to emphasize a crucial distinction. These AI tools do not generate traffic that supports content creators, those essential voices in journalism, academia, and the arts. As answer engines continue to overshadow traditional search engines, Prince foresees three potential futures unfolding. The first scenario he deemed unlikely involves a total takeover of journalism and academic research by AI. This notion suggests a dead internet theory, wherein most online content is generated and interacted with by bots, ultimately resulting from a focus on engagement-driven monetization strategies. Yet, since AI relies heavily on human-written content, it seems improbable that these fields would simply vanish. The second, which Prince regards as frighteningly likely, envisions a troubling return to a Renaissance-like patronage system where a small number of powerful AI companies effectively control the distribution of information. In this viewpoint, content creators could find themselves under the thumb of major corporations, reminiscent of the Medici family, who historically dictated which artists and thinkers thrived based on their political and ideological agendas. Should this scenario materialize, it could lead to a model in which journalists and researchers are hired to create news and information for these AI entities, consolidating knowledge under a few corporate umbrellas. With this shift, information might become ideologically skewed and fragmented, contrary to the Internet's foundational goal of democratizing access to knowledge. Prince anticipates seeing emerging AI companies, such as Anthropic and OpenAI, potentially curating news from selected creators and shaping the narrative landscape according to their own biases. But here's where it gets controversial. Prince proposes that this fragmentation could lead to the creation of ideologically divided AI systems. Imagine a conservative AI, a liberal AI, and even ones representing national perspectives from countries like China and India, significantly detracting from the open interchange of ideas that the Internet once promised. On a more optimistic note, Prince outlines a third possibility that he and his company, Cloudflare, are actively advocating for. He foresees a future where content isn't just a free resource for AI, but rather a licensed asset akin to how Netflix operates. According to this vision, AI firms would need to compensate creators for the content they use, rather than taking it without acknowledgement or recompense, a notion that has already started to generate legal challenges. For instance, various publishers and media outlets, including the parent company of Rolling Stone, have initiated lawsuits against companies like Google for unfair practices involving AI summarization of their work. Cloudflare has taken steps to combat the indiscriminate scraping of content by AI systems, allowing its clients to block these crawlers unless they are willing to pay for access to the content. As clarity around copyright and fair use continues to evolve, this move could be instrumental in redefining how content is accessed in the age of AI. Prince passionately argues that the sustainability of the Internet hinges on the vitality of its ecosystem. With this in mind, he cautions that if the Internet were to lose its diversity and just become a plaything of a few AI corporations, it would fundamentally undermine its very essence. Despite this significantly brighter outlook compared to the previous two scenarios, it poses its own set of challenges. The rise of engagement-centric content has revolutionized knowledge industries, often prioritizing virality over accuracy. Will the new landscape of AI-supported journalism necessitate that news organizations operate more like wire services for AI chatbots rather than independent sources of information? What are your thoughts on this impending transformation of the Internet? Do you agree with Prince's assessment, or do you believe there's an alternative pathway forward that might better preserve the integrity of both journalism and online discourse? Share your insights and join the conversation.